We spent 2 days at Disneyland Paris ahead of our 7-night Mediterranean Disney cruise. Come along with us as we explore, ride rides, eat gluten-free food, check out Captain Jack's restaurant, and finish off our time with a fireworks show. Our first day, we had park hopper tickets between Walt Disney Studios and Disneyland. This worked out really well for us because we were able to accomplish everything we wanted to do in Walt Disney Studios by the late afternoon and could finish off our evening at Disneyland. This trip we were not staying at a Disney hotel, so we arrived at the park around 8 a.m. to get in line ready for a 9 a.m. opening. There are early entry hours for resort hotel guests, and I could see how this would really be a benefit because even rope dropping at 9 a.m., we still had quite a long wait for Crush's coaster. Early evening, we said goodbye to the Mickey Water Tower and headed over to Disneyland Paris. Our first goal after arriving at Disneyland was to find something for dinner. Now, gluten-free food at Disneyland Paris is not easy to find. If you're used to the custom gluten-free menus at Walt Disney World or even Disneyland, it's a different situation here. So you really have to find things that are naturally gluten-free or already gluten-free on the menu. They do have some pre-packaged gluten-free, free of several allergen meals that are kind of like microwave meals. But I was not interested in any of those and really wanted to have a full, freshly cooked meal. So we did a lot of research beforehand and figured out which meals are naturally gluten-free and which ones we could just order gluten-free. In Fantasyland, we headed over to Au Chalet de la Marionnette, which is the Pinocchio-themed restaurant inside Fantasyland. There I could have the roast chicken and french fries meal gluten-free. Naturally, that one was naturally gluten-free. So I ordered that and it came along with a drink. I love all the Fantasyland restaurants. They always make me feel like I am in the middle of a fairy tale. So I always choose to eat in Fantasyland if I can. I just love the magic of Disney. This is the gluten-free roast chicken meal that comes with chips and a drink. Like most places, they do not have a dedicated guaranteed gluten-free kitchen, so there is always a risk of cross-contamination. There are several quick service restaurants around Disneyland that have naturally gluten-free options, but there are not many, if any, at Walt Disney Studios. So we chose to pack lunch in, and I packed gluten-free sandwiches, and then we would buy dinner in Disneyland. All that to say, you can really eat well gluten-free at Disneyland Paris, but it does take work. Do your research ahead of time. There's some excellent Facebook groups, social media, vlogs like this one, and really do the research and make a plan of what you want to eat and where you want to eat, and then you won't go hungry. There are some amazing foods, and I didn't even get to try all the food that I wanted to try on the 2 days that we were there. So eating gluten-free is definitely a bit more work at Disneyland Paris than probably the US parks, but don't be discouraged. Just put in the research and you will have a fantastic, safe time eating at Disneyland Paris. I have celiac disease and react highly to cross-contamination, and I was able to eat fine and safely and had no reactions while we were there. However, this is not medical advice, so please make sure to do your own research and decide your own comfort level with your gluten-free meals available. Don't just take what I say. Really research it yourself. But I am confident that you can have a good time at Disneyland Paris, even gluten-free. Day 2 in Disneyland Paris, and it started off rainy. Today we had a single park ticket, so we just stayed in Disneyland for this day. For our mid-morning snack, we picked up a gluten-free buckwheat crepe and Nutella. Now, there are some seasonal stalls over by It's a Small World, right where the parade starts, and they pop up seasonally. They're not there all the time, but they offer buckwheat galettes and regular crepes. The buckwheat ones are gluten-free, and you can ask them to change their gloves and cook it, and they cook on a separate hot plate, so there's no cross-contamination with the wheat ones. And then they normally come with very savory toppings, but we wanted a sweet topping, so we asked them to do the gluten-free buckwheat crepe with Nutella. So it was a nice mid-morning snack, especially to have something hot on a bit of a rainy, cool day. For dinner, we headed over to Captain Jack's. This is a full-service, sit-down restaurant located inside Pirates of the Caribbean. Very similar to the Blue Bayou concept in Disneyland, California, only this one is actually themed after Captain Jack. The theming in this restaurant is exceptional, but it is also very, very dark. So I apologize for the graininess in some of my upcoming videos. We are a small party, there's only 3 of us, so we were able to request a table by the water, and they were able to grant that request for us. So it was really fun to sit and be able to see the boats coming in. If you want a table by the water, you need to ask and request one, but it is harder to sit larger parties by the water, so it's better if you're a smaller party. And as always, these are simply requests, not guarantees. And the cast members will do everything they can to help you, but if you can't sit by the water, everywhere in the restaurant still has amazing views and it's worth the experience. So, always worth it to ask, but please don't expect or guarantee that that can happen. It is a nice little pixie dust when it does. For gluten-free dining at Captain Jack's, at the time of this video, all the main entrees were naturally gluten-free, so you could choose whichever main entree you wanted and you knew it could be gluten-free. Thankfully, my son can eat whatever he wants because the kids' meal would have been a harder time to adapt, I believe. I didn't see many gluten-free options on there, but for the adult menu, all the main options are naturally gluten-free. Captain Jack's is one of the few full-service restaurants left at Disneyland Paris where you can still order a la carte. Most of them have moved to a set meal type menu, but at Captain Jack's you could order a la carte, so we just ordered entrees for each of us and then a kid's meal for my son. This was one of the kids' meals options. It's breaded chicken and rice, not gluten-free. And for my meal, I ordered the chicken and prawn Colombo with the captain's rice, naturally gluten-free, and it was very flavorful and delicious. I very much enjoyed it, and it was nice to just have a naturally gluten-free entree that I didn't even have to worry about what was in it. This was the Mousse Ahoy dessert that came with the kids' meal. It is not gluten-free. This one is full of gluten, but definitely delicious for young kiddos. After dinner, we headed over to Cafe Hyperion in Tomorrowland to pick up the C-3PO Lemon Macaron. This one is a fully gluten-free macaron, and it was delicious. I love macarons. I could just live on macarons, and so that one was a really nice treat at the end of the day. We finished off our time at Disneyland Paris with a very wet and rainy ride on Autopia before finishing our night with Disney Dreams of Magic, the fireworks and drone show that they offer at Disneyland Paris. Thanks for joining us on our time at Disneyland Paris. I hope this was encouraging for you if you're looking to eat gluten-free, that there is options and you can have a good meal. Come follow along with us on the rest of our travels. From here, we're heading to Barcelona and then on to the Disney Fantasy for a 7-night cruise across the Mediterranean. We'll see you there.